one of the key elements that I did not discuss has to do with relationships and maintaining fantastic relationships. So when someone has dementia or Alzheimer's, there are a lot of components of their personality that fall apart. However, some of the deepest parts of their personality that are related to values and their core values, as well as their language and how they language, are still kept intact. And so it's very important early on to understand the people that you love as well as you can and as deeply as you can. And one of the factors that I found is very, very helpful is using a system, a personality typing system called bank code. And so these are the bank cards that you can use to figure out what the personality and the language type the person has. Bank is blueprint, action, nurturing, and knowledge. So each of these different cards has a different set of values written on them. And those values are key components of what each person holds as important to them to varying degrees. So once you figure out their bank code personality type, you can start to use that and communicate in their language, just like any other language, like English. Let's say someone speaks English, but it's their second or third language. Well, if you know their native tongue, you're going to be able to communicate with them so much more effectively than if you just use English. Same thing occurs with personality types. If a person is a knowledge type person, more like this, we call the K type. This type individual. Knowledge type is the green card. These particular values, they value information. They value research and studying things. They like to accumulate things having to do with knowledge. And they like a lot of in-depth information to make their decisions. Well, if this is a primary type of the person you love and you are trying to help with their decisions regarding Alzheimer's care, memory care, how they should go about changing their life based on the changes that they're having, it's really important to know that they are going to have a longer decision time frame. It's going to take them longer to decide. And they're going to need lots of details, a lot of details. And they need to really understand the big picture too. So if you communicate in that way with that individual, you're going to be much more successful than if you are communicating, if you are more the action type where you like bullet point information. Just tell me 3 things and I'll make a decision. Knowledge type is not like that. So if you have the personality of an action type individual, you, in general, we each will tend to communicate in the style that's most comfortable to us. We will each tend to choose the language that we are most comfortable in, unless we have really learned to adapt to the environment well. Now, a lot of people in the United States, they may speak English, they may speak Chinese, they may speak Spanish, they may speak Japanese, and they may speak several languages. Other parts of the world, people tend to speak more languages. And so a typical American will speak English and maybe Spanish and English. And so if they're trying to speak to someone who speaks Chinese primarily and all they speak is English, then you can imagine that the communication style is not going to be that effective. Even though they say body language is a key component of communication, that's very true. But the content is also very important when you're dealing with things like choosing a memory care facility, or whether you should sell your house and take that money and put it into a nursing care facility where you'll be living instead. So these are really key and difficult decisions that individuals with dementia and Alzheimer's have to make in the context of their loved ones. Now, if you already have a rocky relationship with somebody, it's just going to get worse. So my suggestion, and one of the things in our Facebook group, is when you subscribe at any of the levels, you get access to a free analysis of your own bank code personality style. And that report is very helpful. I have found over the last 8 years that it has made me a better communicator, because when I understand the other person's style, I will try to frame what I'm saying in a way that resonates with them more quickly, a way that they understand and it sinks in more easily for them. It's just like if you are a parent, you have children, and the children are 3, 4, 5 years old. You don't use super technical words if you want to get the explanation across. I mean, you can do it as you're educating them over time, so they'll learn bigger words and more complicated words. But if you really want to get across, you're going to have to use the words and the vocabulary that they understand. So the same thing goes with any other person. By understanding their personality type, you will be more persuasive if you can communicate in their personality language. So this is one of the things that I provide, and I highly encourage that people in my Facebook Brain Wealth Longevity group, that when they subscribe, they will get access to this. And it's one of the reasons why I think it's really important to actually subscribe at the higher level, so you have access to this technology and languaging system that has made a very positive difference in my life, has helped improve the connections I make with people, makes it easier for me to create teams of people, to excite people, to make them better understand the opportunities and freedoms that they will benefit from by having all this extensive knowledge presented in a very step-by-step process that is linear, logical, and also comes from the heart. So I just want to add that to this other segment, because it's a very important thing that I'm actually gifting people as part of their subscription. So take advantage of it and use it. And I'm happy to continue to give more and more information, more and more training on this subject as well.